I've lost you, I think. Everyone can see and hear you.
So hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Soccer Hub Talks. So as you know, Soccer Hub is a world leader online education platform for soccer experts such as coaches, scouts, analysts, and for all the ones that wish to learn more about the different aspects of the game. So please visit our webpage to get to know about more about our courses, and also including the course that is with 50% discount is the course of the month. You can check, and in a bit I'm going to put there so we can have a look. So please also click on the like button to see if the audio and the video is okay. Feel free to ask your questions to our guest. We have a lovely guest that you all know, but I'm going to talk a bit more about him in a second, making your life hard also a bit. So also, so ask your questions. So today's subject is overcoming challenges, and to talk about it with us, we have the fantastic Kenji Gorré. So Kenji, welcome. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you so much for having me, man. It's a privilege to be here and to see the amazing work that you're doing. So thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. It's been, you accepted straight away to tell people, and thanks for that. In such a kind way, you are a fantastic guy. But of course, you had the season going. It wasn't easy, so it was worth it. And you'll see, guys, it was very worth to wait for Kenji. And so enjoy the talk. So as you know, this is a very free conversation. So so let's start. Before that, there is a bit of a challenge. As you know, I'm a scout, so I need to do my homework. I wasn't checking. I'm gonna tell you. So I do your profile, your scouting profile, based on what I know. I wasn't preparing nothing. It's just I know for the times I was watching. And if I'm wrong, you can tell me. Okay. And so Kenji is a winger, mainly left winger. Okay, can also play on the other side. He's a very fast player, and the thing is that is more impressive is that he's fearless. So he likes to go and look for where are the defenders, and as you can see, he's a guy that is always smiling. I think it's great, and I'd like to ask him if you also smile when you pass through your opponents, usually the right back, and you smile and you say to them, are you coming or are you staying? Because Kenji is it's a guy like you are in life, very happy playing. You feel like watching you playing, it's delightful, because you can see that you enjoy really playing. You like to go ahead, you like to score goals, but you also like a lot to assist. You do it in a very, very altruistic way. You don't like only to score. I'll say that most of the times you prefer also to assist than to score. Okay. And I think you can go to the inside, you can go outside. You are unpredictable, and your technique is good, and So most of all, so guys, you can, if there is any club, can sign him. So what do you think? Am I right? Or...
Hey, Nuno, the way you sold me, then I'm gonna sign you, bro, for me to work for me. Nah, bro, I really. Really appreciate the words, man, and sometimes when you're playing and you see yourself in a certain way, but to be spoken about in the way that you just did is really fills my heart, man. So thank you so much.
That's okay. I'm glad that I'm right, and you agree, but not all the time the players agree, but it's part of it. But I think also it's interesting one thing that you are, of course, your characteristics are more as a winger. But I believe that you can play also in the stand, in the middle, because you can play in any position, to be honest, because you have very tactical knowledge also. Not only because we are going to talk also your career for you come from Manchester United youth team, so you've been learning, football. You can see clearly that you are a player, that you know what you are doing inside the pitch, and you have knowledge to play in other positions, and you know how to adapt. I think maybe later on, because you are very young, so maybe later on, maybe you'll try to play in different positions. So yeah. So let's start the conversation. Let's start the questions. Let's start the hard questions. Okay. And so, how is your Portuguese level? If you only know the bad words, that's a curiosity that I
have. So when I first moved to Portugal, I only knew the bad words. But now, as things progressed, as things go on, eu falo muito bem. Eu falo muito bem.
That's good. That's perfect. So, but today is in English. Yeah, maybe next time it will be in Portuguese. So let's start. So Kenji, can you please tell us a bit more about your career, your journey so far, and how it all started, including being a winger, like we said, and have you always been a winger? So if you can do like a bit briefly resume of your career so far.
Yeah. So honestly, as soon as I was born, my parents told me that football was something that I just love to do. I was born in the football world. My dad was a professional footballer also. So it's kind of following his footsteps, let's say. But I had my own dreams. I had my own goals. I had my own desires. But to have a role model like my dad was like, wow, I see myself there, seeing him in the stadiums and people singing his name. I was like, hey, I want people to sing my name, so it was an amazing experience watching my dad. I can remember some moments when they were singing his name and I was in the crowd, and I was thinking, wow, like I can't wait to have that one day. But anyway, from 6 years old, I've been playing at Manchester City at the time, then to Manchester United at the same time. So football is my life, football is what I've always done from baby. So yeah, I ended up signing for United at 9 years old. That's when I had to choose between Manchester United and Manchester City. I chose for United at the time. It was more closer to my heart. I loved the football there. I was more free there. I could express myself. I could, it felt right for me at the time. And I had the privilege to be there for over 10 years. So I saw a lot. I've played with the world's best. I've trained with the world's best. I've had the world best coaches. I've had the privilege to experience Sir Alex Ferguson, which was an unbelievable experience looking back now. But at the time, it was obviously just normal. It was like, yeah, I'm going to school. It's the exact same thing because I was there for so long. And now looking back at my time, and like you shared before, like I'm just grateful and blessed to have all these experiences that I've seen the world's best right in front of my eyes, but I've also seen the world's best talent that didn't fulfill their potential. So I could see it from both ends where, wow, like I'm here trying to progress as a footballer myself. I can see the level that it takes to get there, but I can also see the talent that's around me. And I'm like, wow, I'm learning each and every single day without even realize that I'm learning. So it's looking back, it's a crazy experience, so yeah, like I've always been an attacker. I've always been from my whole career, really. I've always kind of wanted the ball, dribble past players, score, assist. Like I've always had that, but I always had that fight in me. I always had that work rate with me. So I've always carried that with me throughout my career. Like I'm not here to just be like, oh, nice, I'm here to win. I'm here to win the games, and that's comes also from training. It also comes from my mindset as a person, and that translates onto the pitch too. So to sum up your question, your question, yeah, that's where I did my journey. Then I moved to Swansea. I moved to Swansea, where I ended up making my Premier League debut, which was an unbelievable achievement at the time. You know, as a child, I was always wishing for that and praying for that, and just to know that your hard work pays off. You know, every single day, all these seeds that I've planted, the watering that I've done to the seed, you know, and now it to grow into a beautiful tree as the Premier League, you know, the best league in the world for me, in my opinion, was an amazing achievement, you know, for me and my family, to know that I've paid them back from all the sacrifices that they also made, you know, that we forget, you know. So it was an honor. Slowly then I decided, I was there for 5 years, amazing experience again, being under some amazing managers, amazing players, top world-class players. Amazing players. But then I quickly then I decided to go to Nacional in Madeira, and that was like a wake-up call for me, in a way that was like life wake-up call. So in my mind, I was really closed, you know, really closed in a way. It's only England, you know, like England is the only thing that's there. And now to wake up in the sun, go to training with my sunglasses and t-shirt on, I'm like, yo, this life is good, man. Hey, football, you could also play football and also have the sun. That is mad, you know. So it opened up my mind to know that I'm not just also a footballer. I'm also a man. I'm also a husband. I'm also a brother, you know. So I also realized like quickly that I also had other identities to Kenji, you know. So that's kind of where I started my personal development journey, to get to know who the real me is. Also the footballer Kenji, but also the Kenji at home, you know. So yeah, that's when I was at Nacional. I was there for 3 years. Went on loan to Estoril as well, which I had a great time at as well. And then I moved to Boavista.
Sorry to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt, but that's fantastic. First of all, first thing, you said at 9 you had to choose between Man City and Man United. Come on. Who else wouldn't like that kind of choice, you know? Usually you are choosing at 9 if you play with your friends that live on your street, or the guys that live in the other neighborhood. You don't choose between Man City and Man United. So that's brilliant. And then you said, I want to ask you one thing. You played in England, obviously, and then you moved to Nacional, and then you also play for your national team. We are going to talk about it. You are familiar with playing in islands, no? You play in islands, no?
Yeah.
So So
I love islands.
And then you love islands, and also you play in 2 clubs where Cristiano Ronaldo played, you know, Manchester United and Nacional. So next, it will be Real Madrid or it will be Juventus.
Amen.
Next step, come on, you know. So yeah, and thanks for sharing that. I stopped you on purpose because we are going to talk about the other things, and also I believe that you always play in nice locations, you know. You went to Nacional, it's beautiful island, Madeira, and then you go to Estoril, that's one of the best places in Portugal. Now you are in Porto, what is beautiful. Yeah. Now you go to your national team. It's fantastic. So man, you're a lucky guy. That's why you smile. Now I can get it. And your family, it's fantastic. Also, you have the support of your family. So that's great to see. So one thing that I'd like to ask you also, was football your first option? Obviously, for what you said, I believe so. But did you practice any other sports also when you were a kid?
Yeah, so as a kid, like growing up, I played every sport, to be honest. At school, I played every sport. You know, I was like kind of an all-rounder. I could play tennis, I could play badminton, I could play, you know, like all the sports I'm kind of good at. Naturally good at. Like I didn't really put any energy and effort in, but you naturally got the sense of, you know, you can catch a ball. So in England, we used to play cricket, you know, so I used to bat and bowl and stuff. And, you know, we also played rugby. So I was the guy that was, you know, passed, or like the jockey guy, and, you know, give it to the guys to go and run. And, you know, so I always loved sport, you know, as growing up. But football was like, when I played football, there was a different Kenji that came out, you know, like now I'm like, I'm free. how I can express myself fully, and football was just something. It's just, I just love it. You know, it's I can't complain about football at all.
At all. So that thing also, you talked about your father. Obviously, your father was a professional, and we all know him. What was the influence that he had? He was like supporting you. He was like giving you free choice. And also, I'd like to say one thing, that you are the first guest that I have in the show that you don't need to write your name there because you have in your shirt. So you are a clever guy. so I'm going to start to ask the guys, bring a shirt with your name, you know.
Love it.
So yeah, your father, Dean Gorré, it's like he was a professional player. Can you talk a bit about the influence that he had on you? Like, yes, folks.
Yeah, my dad was my biggest role model, my biggest supporter, my agent, my counselor, my everything. To be honest, like growing up, he never ever put any pressure on me. He never pushed me until he asked me, Kenji, do you want to become a professional footballer? I can remember I was around 12-ish, 12 or 14, 12 to 14. And I can remember sitting in the kitchen and he asked me, he said, Kenji, do you want to be a professional footballer? And I said, yes. You know, what's life without football? And he was like, you want to do everything in your power to become a professional footballer? And I was like, yeah, man, like, of course I want to be a professional footballer. So then from that day, he said, from this day, I will treat you like a professional footballer. So then it got to, you know, times of, you know, 16, you know, now there's parties, there's things like that. But I've got a game on Sunday. So my dad asked me, you know, okay, so are you going to go? Are you going to go? And it's just like, nah, I'm not going to go. I've got a game tomorrow. So he always asked me. Okay. He always asked me, and then I asked him, like, can I go? And he's like, well, what do you want to do? You know, so he always asked me back. Oh, yeah. And now it's so interesting to see the dynamics of teammates that I have or players that I speak to where their parents made the decision for them. Yeah. So you can really see the clear difference from players that, you know, make the decisions from their own heart, or when it's the parents or the circumstances or certain issues that they didn't make the decision from their heart themselves, you know, so they hold that sort of resentment to football, and they have a different meaning to football than someone that makes the decision for himself. Because now it's not that I can blame my dad. I can't blame them for anything. That's true. I can only blame me because I made the decision. Kenji, you know, you made the decision. You want to be a footballer. So when things weren't going well, I can remember being in the car one day after a training session, after a game, and I didn't play well. The team didn't play well. And I was so disappointed. I didn't play. I was on the bench. And I was just like, I started crying, you know, your tears come out and you're like, oh, what is this? What's going on? And my dad just said, well, what can I say? You chose this. And it's just like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I chose it. What can you say? I chose this. And that is what it's all about, taking responsibility for your own life. And that is what it is in any walk of life, taking responsibility for your own goals and your own dreams and your own desires. It's not because of the coach. It's not because of the agent. It's not because of the club. It's because of you chose it yourself. You take responsibility for it, you know? So that's kind of where that foundation then hit me. So I'm forever grateful for that conversation, and that my dad is someone that's experienced it all. You know, he's experienced playing in the Champions League, you know, playing for the national team, you know, playing in all different levels, but also the downside of it, you know, of not being wanted at the club, or having to leave, having to go to a different country, you know, leaving Holland to go to England, all these different challenges that I also then experienced, but I can now go to him, of someone that's so close to me that has already experienced it. You know, so that is the blessing of having a father that's so supportive, but also teaches me and guides me into who I am today, to be honest.
Yeah, that's brilliant. You know, like and your father is invite. I send the invitation for him if he's gonna watch, is invited. It will be great. So Dean, if you are watching me, you are invited, okay, to share also your experience. And that's fantastic what you said, actually, because he was like you said, he was giving you the responsibility to make your own choices, obviously supporting you with that. And I can see, like I was saying, in your scouting profile I did, you are a player inside the pitch that you know how to take decisions. And in these days, it's hard. Some players, they are good players, but they don't know how to decide. Do you think also that's part of, since young age, you had to take decisions? It's also, you take a responsibility for when it goes well, when it doesn't go well. So do you think it was also something that was related with it?
Yeah, for sure. I think it definitely plays has its influence in that. And I think that, like your life on the outside also translates onto the pitch. If you're feeling good, you play, you will play good. If you're feeling confident, you'll be confident. So it's that also, like your life outside can translate onto the pitch, of how you feel. It's like the famous quote of, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything, so it's that essentially. And that kind of, them decisions and them experiences kind of, it does have an impact onto the pitch for sure.
Yeah, that's great, because what I can see for the way you play, it's like you are a player, you don't hide yourself. When it's the important games come, you like to assume, you like to play them, and that's important. It shows also that, of course, your past, all those clubs, but everything is part of also your personality and also what you've been learning. And the other thing that is interesting, and we're going to talk a bit more about it, is like that you were a player. You could just have an attitude, I'm a player, I played for Man U, I played Premier League, and the way you play, what I appreciate a lot on you, I could see last season that you scored very important goals, and when you celebrate, or when you are there, like, you don't see your CV, you enjoy the moment, you are there with your teammates, and you have a great attitude. And some players that were in clubs, so big clubs as Man U, sometimes they don't change that part, and then they maybe at your age are already not playing professionally. And for sure, you have many former teammates that they are not playing anymore. So I think congratulations for that. I'm happy I can tell you this, because it's like what I see from outside, and it proves that, like you said, if your life outside the pitch is good, like you have all the things balanced, so you can enjoy. So thanks for that. I wanted to share this. I don't know if you agree, but it's my way of thinking.
For sure. I appreciate that.
Yeah, sure. So in terms of, so you already played in England, you played in Holland also for a brief period, and obviously Portugal. So where did you feel that you could express more yourself, like in terms of game style, in terms of pace, also the league? Which one suits more for you, and what differences that you experienced?
I think at the moment, like, I'm really enjoying the Portuguese league, and I think that this is a league where I can really flourish. I'm starting to really understand the mentality. I'm starting to really understand the league and the mindset of the league. And I really think that the speed of the game, I'm really finding myself really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it, and I think that is the main thing. Enjoying where you're playing, and definitely in this league, I think I can enjoy myself. I can have my impact and input into the team, not just on the pitch but off the pitch as well. And I think that comes also with learning the language, learning the culture, getting to know your players, getting to know your teammates. Yeah, getting to know the staff, and that's important, So yeah, I think Portugal is definitely a league where I feel good on the pitch. I'm happy at the club. Yeah, I'm happy, man.
That's great, because we are not going to leave you, not going to let you leave. So now you are going to, you're going to stay. Luckily, you already played for your country. Otherwise, you will be Portuguese international. so yeah, you are always welcome. So how it came the opportunity, the option to come to play in Portugal?
To be honest with you, bro, like I was at Swansea, so we got relegated to the Championship.
Okay.
And when we got relegated to the Championship, I was like, okay, what's gonna happen here? Because I want to be playing. Like one of my things on my goals was like to have a coach that really believed in me. Like that's something that I really wrote down every day. Like I really wanted a coach to believe in me. And I can remember as I started to get clear on what I desired, what I wanted, I left that up to God. You know, I left it up to God where that would take me. And I can remember like Swansea offered me a new deal. They offered me another year. But in that time, I was just like, I'm still open. Like I'm really open for something to come in. And I can remember a call came through from Costinha, and we had a
He was
really
already in
good
the
conversation.
show. Sorry to
Sorry?
interrupt. I already have
Yeah.
Costinha on the show.
Oh, you should have asked him. You should have asked him.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm gonna ask
yeah,
him later.
No, we had a good conversation, and yeah, I really felt some warmth from him, and I can remember going to view Nacional, went to go and see it, and I had a good conversation with Costinha, and I just felt in my heart like this is where I'm supposed to be. You know, I remember walking in the stadium and I was like, yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be. So I ended up going back to Swansea and I said, I really appreciate the 5 years. I had a really vulnerable conversation with the chairman, the president at the time. And I was just like, I was just really honest with him. And I said, I really appreciate the new contract, but I really want to go and experience something new, experience something fresh. So he really appreciated that, and he fortunately let me go to this experience. So one of the main reasons why I came to Portugal was Costinha for sure.
Okay. So that's great. So I'm gonna message him saying thank you that you are bringing Kenji to our country.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
It was great. So also to have him. So another thing, like you have a double nationality. So you were born in the Netherlands and you play for Curaçao. So how hard it was the decision, you know, and what made you choose to play for Curaçao?
So I think like growing up, it was like, yeah, who am I gonna play for? Like, where's it gonna be? And I remember being in the youth teams and stuff, and I was playing for Holland, playing for Holland. But then it got to a point in my career where I saw that Holland and England, they both had their ideas, you know. It's just like they both had their ideas of what players were going to come. And it gets to a certain point where you got to be real, you know, you got to be real with, you know, with what you can achieve, you know. And obviously at the time I can remember that the coach from Curaçao called me and he said that there's a tournament, a big tournament. We got the Gold Cup coming, and I would love for you to come and join us in the Gold Cup. We have Honduras, El Salvador, and Jamaica in the group, and I'd love for you to come and experience that. And I can remember coming off the phone and my mum was just so proud, you know, my mum was just so happy. And from that moment, I was like, okay, this is where I need to go. This is what this needs to be, because this is something, an opportunity that I can't turn down. So it was probably one of the most amazing experiences that I've had in my football career so far. We ended up getting through in the group, getting America in the quarterfinal, where we played really well. We ended up losing the game 1-0, but we had more possession, more shots, everything. We were in control of the game. And that's when I realized, wow, like this isn't just a national team. This is a family. This is a place where people, we as guys from Curaçao, have an influence on the whole country. When we are there, like the whole country is alive. When we are there, like we're putting Curaçao on the map, and it's just a feeling that I cannot describe. When I put the shirt on, like I feel so much joy. I feel so much honor to wear it. So yeah, that's my kind of story of choosing Curaçao, and it's a decision that that is really close to my heart. You know, my grandma, my family in Curaçao, they're just so proud of me. So that is a feeling that I can't describe, you know.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And also, like you said, we need to be realistic. We need to, you know, like probably to play for Holland, some players, they can go 5 times to the national team and you will not remember them anymore. For Curaçao, you are in history, you know, and you are contributing for the football to grow there. In 20 years, people will talk about you like Kenji, and for you, for sure, it's a feeling that people, you know, nothing that can pay for that. I'll challenge you guys to follow Kenji on social media and see his stories, because it's fantastic. When you go to the national team, you can see actually, like you said, it's like a family. You guys really enjoy. Of course, you are professionals. You are there to play, but you can see that it's great. You know, it's great environment. Probably don't get that kind of environment in other national teams. So, so yeah, that's brilliant. It's also a challenge for you to go to Paradise there and to play, and also to be competitive at the same time.
It's an amazing island. It's an amazing island. And even just to come back to that, like there's so many players in there that have played in the Dutch national team that now regret it. You know, they've got so much regret of playing for the national team of Holland, because they're like, oh my days, if I knew it was like this, I would have chose Curaçao. If I knew that it was like, I would have chose Curaçao. So that's why I encourage all the, you know, the young players coming through to really make the decision from their heart and not their mind. You know, to play for your country, you know, and especially the guys that are born there and that have a lot of family that go there every summer, like really take that decision. And that can be any country, you know, like any player that could be listening to this, you know, if there's a country on your heart that you can play for, you know, really consider it.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for that. And so you already talked about the language in terms of adaptation. It was it's a factor that you believe that is also important, no? So in terms, I'd like to talk about the subject that is important is when a player does the transition from the youth teams to the senior level. Okay, it can be very challenging, and you already gave some interviews where you talked about it. Even the mental part is important. That, you know, it can a player can go through some difficulties in, even if you have support from your family. That's your case. So can you talk a bit about it, and how it was to leave Man U, to go to another club when your contract, you know, just not on loan, when actually you break, when your contract was finishing, and how it was impacting in your personal life and your football career?
Yes, for sure, man. And it takes me straight back, you know, it takes me straight back to that moment when I went into Sir Alex Ferguson's office. You know, I remember going into his office and he had a huge glass window of where he could overlook the training of the first team and everything. He said, Kenji, yep, come in. And I remember sitting down and I was like, do I call him Sir Boss? You know, I didn't really know what to say to him, even though even though I saw him like every day, like it was still like, oh my days, how do I call him? Because his presence is so big, you know. But yeah, I'm sat in this big chair, like sat down small. And he said, Kenji, you've had an amazing time here. You've had some really successful years, but I can offer you a contract now, but I know that's not going to do you any good. You're in a position now where you've got to play games. You've got to play consistently. And I can't guarantee you game time. You know, you've got, and then he started reeling off names. He started saying Giggs, Nani, all these names that were Januzaj at the time, Lingard, all these names that were ahead of me. And he was like, I can't guarantee that you're going to play, but I know that you can, that you'll be able to get a club for sure. And I want to thank you for all the, you know, amazing words. I can remember like feeling. But when I left that room, you know, reality hits. And I can remember getting into my car on driving home, and I was just burst out crying. You know, I was just like, wow, like, first of all, like, what am I going to tell my parents when I get home? You know, what am I going to say to my friends? Everybody knows me as Kenji Gorré, the footballer that plays for Manchester United. Who am I?
Yeah.
You know, so you're kind of in that process of understanding that weight. You know, football holds a lot on me. So I went through a process of not understanding, like, all my days, like, who is Kenji, because like I said, like I was known as Kenji Gorré, the guy that plays for United. Oh yeah, that's the guy that plays football. That's the guy that plays football. But now I'm not the guy that plays for United. And it's a place where I went every single day for over 10 years, so it had such, it's kind of made me also into the person that I am today, that experience. So I can remember getting in the car, going home, and I remember going home and sitting down and thinking, what am I going to say to my parents? And I knocked on the door and I said, guys, I need to tell you something. I had a meeting today, and I remember just emptying out, like tears coming down my face, like just being like so upset, feeling like the world has just ended, like that's how I really felt in my heart. So I can remember, like, my dad gave me that night. He gave me that night, and I was just like, I was down that night. But then the next morning, I remember my dad sat me down. He sat me down and he said, listen, Kenj, when one door closes, another one opens. And that switched something inside of me. That switched something in my system. He said, now you're at the top. The only way is down. Where do you want to go? And that's when logic started to come in, like, okay, yeah, I was at the top, like, okay, where am I going to go? So I can remember, going, I did my research from every club, that was there. I was like, looked on Google, looked at all the players that were there, like, what are my opportunities to break into that first team? I really looked, like, who are the players ahead of me? So I looked at West Ham, Swansea, all these clubs that were below, and looked at, what my chances were. And quickly but surely, I signed for Swansea not long after. So like, that experience kind of taught me that football is me, but it's not all of me. It's not all of Kenji. There's a lot more to me, and also to know that when one door closes, another one opens, and that's kind of when I heard that, like, it changed something in me. So anyone that is going through this right now, any player that is being told that you're not getting a new deal, just know that that everything is working out for you, man. It's not happening to you, but it's happening for you. And it's something that you need to know for yourself, that it's happening for a reason. And that is why when one door closes, another one will open, and the right one will open, man.
That's true. Thank you for sharing, because that's that's very important also for guys that are watching. If you are players or even coaches, sometimes we are not needed in one place because there are better options, or because for many different reasons. But it doesn't mean that we are not needed in another place, or or that we don't go back. Maybe one day we go back. You never know. So yeah. Can you hear me well, or I think the sound?
My sound is like gone a bit crazy.
Mine also. Let me check.
All right.
Okay.
Speak now.
The same, I think. That's
yeah. It's when you speak.
If you can you refresh? We can wait a bit.
Wait, I will refresh, because I can't hear what.
So guys, just if you want to ask some questions, feel free. Okay, to hope you are enjoying, and also check our website. Kenji will be back in a second. It's half time. So yeah, it's the same. Let me check.
Yeah, speak now.
Yeah, it's okay. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's like on my side. It's like when you speak, it's like crackling a lot. So it's like I can hear you.
Same.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Because it's like same. It's like crack. It's like repeat. So.
Let me try to refresh.
Yeah, I tried to refresh and it was the same.
I'm gonna try to do the same. Me.
Okay, yeah, you do that.
Okay, I'm back. Better? No, it's the same.
It's like the same, but no worries. We'll keep going. We'll keep going.
If you can not, we can do it in different ways. Let's see. I don't know what's going on. Let me check. We have something here.
I'm gonna try and put this in. Let me see if this works.
Okay, these things happen.
Yeah, because the sound is a bit crazy. Oh no. No, it's not this one, it's the other one. Wait. I'll use my earbuds. Let's see if it works on there.
Can you hear better now?
What's going on?
1 second.
Wait, where's your microphone?
Mine's are these ones.
Where's your microphone?
It's in here on the front, but I think I like this challenge
because it's like echoing on something. Is it like it might be vibrating onto something? It's like every time you move, it's like it's like. And now?
Same, I think.
Yeah, it's the same. But now it's better. It's better though. Keep going. So strange.
Just 1 second. Sorry, Kenji.
No problem. No problem.
I think it's the same. So let's do like this.
Okay, I will kind of guess what you're saying.
Okay. Let's do like this, guys. We are gonna do the rest of the interview, and then we do the video. We post online, okay? Sorry about that, and we'll be back. Let me just try the last thing. Just a second. Is it better now, or is it the same?
Same.
Same. Yeah. Okay, and now it's the same. Let's finish and then we keep going, okay?
Okay, bro.
See in a bit. Yeah, that's fine.